Welcome back for the Divine Masculine Update. For those of you that don't know, I'm your host, Yildiz from Yildiz Readings. If you haven't grabbed a cup, grab one, as we are going to take a deep look into the Divine Masculine energy this week. Now, as to your twin flame path, we do host energy updates weekly and attempt to give you the tips for you moving directly through your path. Without further ado, let's take a look at what is going on for the Divine Masculine. Now, this week in the mix, we do find these individuals really having a shake-up where it does come to facing their shadow, understanding the journey of the light and the strength that they're having within themselves, as well as really coming to a renewal phase. Now, it does appear to be, as they are coming through the gate, that there could be a crisis coming, and that crisis is taking them to a resolve and a revelation. And I feel as though they are really getting into that Trinity energy and really asking the pivotal questions. What patterns am I hosting? Where am I feeling that something is giving me some guidance? And it's almost like the people around them, the circumstances around them, are directly mirroring back to them a key subject area. And, you know, where it does come to the creation of creativity moving forward, having courage and strength, I really do think this week is quite pivotal for them inside their own individual aura. Now, we do look at this really from the perspective of deep clarity. And, you know, this also can be through who they thought they were versus who they truly are. And it's a real shedding of the skin, like the phoenix rising. And we see them actually really keeping this in their mind's eye as they are moving through this week. Now, where we get to the second row, we are directly looking to the most recent past. And within the most recent past, these individuals really awakening their inner masculine are both considering the aspect of what they're thinking moving into the week, but what they're trying to release is deep emotional wounds that have directly impacted their passion, their lust for life, and it's really representing the emotional patterns. And this can come to a head, especially in a sense of intense passion, anger, any unresolved healing. It is something that they are moving away from, which is deeply positive, because they're just feeling it's really sabotaging them in the context of moving forward in their life. What their current pathway is right now is it is directly a gateway. So they are moving towards this gateway. They're doing a lot of deep reflection, and it's coming through, like I said, in a mirrored effect with people around them. It's really bringing their awareness to, you know, who they directly want to be and what is resonating with them and what isn't. And so any element of judgment or resistance is really being mirrored back to them. It is giving them a bit of a PDF about what is really going on inside them. And what's not resonating is really stripping away at this point in time. Now, they are receiving a lot of light codes. And as to the direction in which they're wanting to go, it does feel like it's a magnet. It feels like it's really pulling them forward. It's giving them the courage to run towards these areas. And, you know, it's almost like whatever vibration of, how can you place it? It feels almost resistance. It's just really shedding away, and it's very, very pure. It's almost like nothing can really move them from the belief of what their goal is in mind here. And I feel this towards their journey, towards their authenticity, towards their divine feminine. It feels very matter of fact. It's non-wavering. It's a very high vibrational code. It might have been, and this year was always going to be quite challenging in the mix of things, but it is really setting them up moving into 2026. And I do feel there is going to be a huge, bold shift connected to the Twin Flame Collective. And I feel for these individuals, a lot of the soul paradigm they're moving away from, especially with all this yellow energy coming through, is the old conditionings and expectations they believe they needed to live in inside of lineage, family, hierarchy. And, you know, one huge message that was coming through is that we're breaking old family. It's like breaking family curses, breaking old lineage patterns, making peace with those things also, and looking in at whatever those cycles were and seeing love within it and really letting go of what's not resonating any longer. So whereby they used to maybe have a very fixed belief to do with something, they're seeing the opposite side of the coin now, and it's giving them a lot of light and clarity, and it's making them feel almost like they're a reborn soul, ready to venture out in the most authentic way humanly possible. Now, where we are coming down to this past position, it's not to say that this has been easy. Okay, so where we do look to the past, sometimes these shadow effects can be the significant. It's almost like a revelation of what has been actually holding us back. So in looking to the past and what we're moving away from is because we directly are evolving, and in the context of it, this person spiritually is very, very ready to release those limiting fear-based frequencies, especially if they've really been hindering them through the journey, been getting caught up in that third eye frequency. I feel the areas that were hindering them are the areas they're directly working on. That is also in the context of their courage. I do see the courage being something that they're really moving quite boldly through. And it's non-wavering, it's not questioning, it's not a negotiation as per se. It's just very, very matter of fact within their auric field. So this releasing, again, very psychological, very old lineage areas. We see the color where they are getting their new foundation set of what their physical beliefs are, where they want to be, what they're wanting to build. And it does represent those old patterns. So they're actually noticing how that directly from a psychological level has impacted them actually achieving their gateway, their door, their opening. And this clarity is probably the largest they've had to date. It doesn't mean to say, as we do move into next month, that we might have a few back steps. But again, I do see this person at the moment really in that vibration that they know where they're going and they know what directly they want to leave behind. And I find this to be quite positive. Now, as we move to the next row, this really in the core subject matter can be that they are trying to embrace the path. They are trying to get to the root cause of things. And, it can be that people around them are feeling quite triggered. There could be some dark undertones coming through. And it's almost like they're finding that they're not directly resonating with those individuals. So it can be that people in their life that were, how could we say it? And I don't think we need to eliminate every person in our circle, maybe be it they're negative or positive. I feel it's the way in which we show up. And I think this individual is actually seeing that as a perspective. They're no longer maybe shifting the blame onto karmic individuals, energies and circumstances. They're really taking their power back and having a revelation of what that situational shift actually meant and why it was there at a point in time, and who directly on a very separate factor they are in the mix of it. So they are acutely aware of the collective masculinity and subjects that are evolving through these individuals. And, at times there has been this real pushback. There has been this bitterness, this victim consciousness that has cropped up. But they do feel it's something of a change that's necessary. And if it is happening to the collective, they know they need to be the way shower. So it's the way in which they're actually no longer allowing that storyline, that theme to actually be the imprint of the toxic masculinity. It's like they're having a shift in it. It's not that they don't resonate so much as per se about certain areas. It's more that they want to be that individual that is actually coming through and clearing those light codes. And it's like something inside of them is actually being activated so that they can move into their heart space. And they know that when they are detached, they're not actually looking at it from a victim conscious point of view or a masculine or a feminine element attribute point of view. It's more they're looking at it from a soul point of view. And I feel that This is even influencing their career. It's influencing their inner, most intimate relationships and their relationship with themselves. And I feel it's really clearing these old codes that they had been embodying and really embodying a brand new frequency. So these things directly aren't hindering them. It's not really speaking to their soul of their wounds, because they also feel it's, again, a skin they're shedding and it's just not resonating. I do feel this vulnerability. They don't want to come through. What will we say? That the heart is emerging, but they're not wanting to come through. So it's, how do I articulate it? Because I don't want this to land incorrectly. It is an activation of the heart space. And although they feel they need to get into that gentleness, it's still also embodying the masculine frequency. So it's not coming through soft and fluffy, so to speak. It's more coming through with an open heart, coming through with understanding, empathy, and conditioning, coming through with passion. It's going to be more open, and I feel their intention is at a foundation level, in order to manifest the things that they desire, they're going to have to open their heart to it. They're going to have to be that vibration to attract those things into their life. And so that they're really saying, and especially their guides are chiming in, and they're saying this individual does have a lot to offer now. This individual now is in a host space ready to actually attract positive things into their life and to tackle the demons of their mind. And, you know, I do feel, especially in the context of the intimate connection, in the past, this was real conflict. It was a conflict because they directly were in the shadow phase, going through kind of birth and death phases. They also were going through these phases where there could have been some very dense 3D conditioning that they were exhibiting, and it was really getting stuck in a cycle, like a rat in a cage and going in circles. This, I don't feel necessarily was their fault. It was part of an ascension process, and I do feel this here is something extremely positive. They can be called into action for tribe and family this week. But I definitely do feel, regardless of that, they do have their eye on the goal, and it is connecting to their most intimate relationship, both with their self and the divine feminine. We will check in with this energy next week, and I hope you join us. Don't forget to look at the masculine, feminine, and karmic, because I'm sure there's more coming up with that, and we will check in with what more we have to offer you after this. Now, if you haven't visited our website, come through and join. We do have a downloaded app, as well as a lot of changes happening with our Sage Inner Circle network. If you do want to join our membership, you do have the landing page, and within our website and the information links directly below, you can see everything that's on offer, as well as we will see you very soon for our next Twin Flame updates. Take care, and I'd love to hear how this update landed.